Hello, Rabin here. How is everyone doing? I am back with another show, and hopefully, you are in the comments and I should be able to see you. Hello, hi everyone. Yeah, so I'm not sure whether how many of you actually play with Twitch, but Twitch is a platform where you will find all the gamers and game content creators, and it is a extremely popular platform, and it has matured over time, and it has a lot of functions and a lot of uh, features to go with, and especially for gamers, whether it is mobile gamers, whether it is any type of desktop gamers, they will be there, and that is the perfect place for them to build up the audience, build up the credentials, build up the social profile of how they play or all these games. So today's topic is about how to go about Twitch, because if you are just starting out and you do not have idea that what are the things you need to prepare before actually going for Twitch streaming. So I'm not sure who else is here, but again, saying hello from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and we are talking about the streaming requirements for Twitch streaming. So what I did, like usual, I actually built up um, a presentation which kind of covers the talking points. At least you will be able to relate that what are the things that you need to actually get into Twitch streaming. So as I mentioned, that Twitch is largely occupied by the gamers, and that is something you need to be aware of, that there are multitude of things that can go into this system. Okay, first of all, you are sharing your game screen. There is one big part of it, right? And at the same time, you are monitoring on a different screen that what is the chat going about, and what is your software streaming, whether your sound is okay and whether you can hear everything or not. So this is fairly complicated than the typical live stream, that you can use tools like OneStream or similar tools. Just use the studio and go live. Of course, you can do that as well, but do remember that it might be much more different if you are using a studio, web-based studio, to stream a game. So what comes in, what inspires that when you go for gaming and sharing a gaming screen, there are certain factors you need to be aware of, which in normal streaming, it doesn't really matter. But in gaming, it really matters, because there is a thing called latency, means there's a delay that when your screen is going to the live audience, and this is something you need to be very aware of, that your voice or your screen might be delayed a little bit. So this is why everyone, those who want to go for Twitch streaming, they need to be aware of these things. So first and foremost, your equipment. This is like the game changer for every Twitch streamer. So if your system, your PC, your Mac, or whatever it is, if it is not powerful enough to handle the streaming requirements, for example, if you're using OBS or Streamlabs or Twitch Studio, if your processor and RAM and SSD drive and your internet connection is not sufficient enough or not up to the par, you might face lag. And that is a killer thing for your live stream, because your audience will get upset if there is not enough bandwidth, not enough, not instant enough. So what I would say, I will share the, so first of all, what I will do, I divide it into a multiple section. So first we are going to talk about the hardware. So I am just going to show, so this is not nowhere near to how you want to configure your system, because you will need much more, you can spend much more to build up a much more powerful PC. It's up to you, because custom PCs are a thing that been happening for last 12 to 15 years. So let me just share one screen and show you the key pointers that we need to remind ourselves about before going into the before going into the Twitch live streaming. So let me share this. Okay. So here we go. Let me change this format. Right. So streaming requirements. Again, we are talking about streaming, Twitch live streaming requirements. So what will come in first? The first thing that you need to understand is the computer. Your computer. It can be Mac, it can be PC, but look at the hardware definitions. So the minimum you should go with is i5, but I would personally recommend that you should use i7, because from my experience, when I tried to stream on Twitch, I noticed that actually hardware matters a lot, and especially the capacity of i7 is much more flexible when you are playing a game and at the same time you're streaming. So there is two big process going on at the same time. What you can do, you can start with i5, but remember, i5, you should use a lower screen resolution for output. So I would recommend with i5, you go with 720p for the best performance. Or if you have i7, you can go with 1080p. Now make sure that your DDR4 RAM is actually gaming RAM, means low latency, high performance RAM. And I personally use NVMe drives. Yes, NVMe is a bit more expensive, but it also gives you a tremendous amount of speed, read and write. So it effectively makes everything go smoother. So now let's talk about the next big thing, which is your graphic card. So yes, you can use AMD graphic cards or anything else, but personally, I know the stability point of view, RTX 20 series minimum, or you can go with GTX 1660 Ti. So you can start with them, but of course you have a choice for AMD based uh, graphic cards. The best combination is if you combine AMD Ryzen series processors with AMD graphic cards, you will have a much more solid output and performance from that. So, okay, having said that, the other things that you will need is low latency mouse and keyboard. So low latency mouse and keyboard is not only the one factor, you also need while you are gaming, your key speed, your key press latency is lowest, means you need a mechanical keyboard to go with. And this is like a no-brainer. I mean, if you play a game, you already have this in your arsenal. Now, this is the very, very important part. A lot of people misunderstood, misjudged this part, which is the internet connection. So you may have a smaller internet connection. Let's say you have 100 Mbps connection or 50 Mbps connection, but do not use Wi-Fi when you are streaming and gaming at the same time. Don't do that, because Wi-Fi will always have a certain amount of latency when it is looking for signal, and this will create a level of latency in your stream that will be not accepted by your audience, or they will not feel great about it. So this is one part of it. Now, To resolve this is very simple. Get a Cat 6 or above, Cat 5e or Cat 6 cable on your PC. If you have a latest generation PC, you will already have a gigabit Ethernet connection on your motherboard. Attach it with a cable to your router. Pull the cable from your router and put it in and check what is the latency level, what is the speed test, and everything coming out. And while you are doing this, make sure that your home system, home TV, streaming boxes, Apple TV, and everything else, turn it off. No need, because when you are doing the live streaming for gaming, especially for Twitch, you should not have other equipments hogging on your internet speed. You want the whole bandwidth for yourself because you want to have a lag free streaming experience. So these are like, some people will say that it might be an old fashioned way, but this old fashioned way is a proven way. You cannot say otherwise. So this is why I always recommend go with wired connections. Wired connections will always give you lower latency and stable connection over time. So if you're gaming for 1 and 2 hours, your connection will be solid from the point you started it and going forward. So these are just some of the elements. It might look smaller, but when you stream and when you play at the same time, because your game is also requesting internet data. Meanwhile, while you're streaming, your streaming product will require a sufficient amount of bandwidth to push the data out of your system. So this is just like not like typical streaming. So typical streaming, it can get away with almost anything. Now, this is what my personal recommendation is. The monitor. So yes, a lot of people will go for 40-inch ultra wide monitor. Sure, that's great. But I want to focus my game on one screen, on the main screen. Let's say the screen that is front of me, and I want to monitor my Twitch stream on the other screen. Why do I want to divide these? The reason is very simple. There is a lot of games, they will go full screen. When they go full screen, it will take up the entire space of the monitor. Yes, you can tweak it, you can resize it and whatnot, but that will take time to perfect it. So why have that headache? Reduce the headache in the very first point. Have a ultra wide, which is fine. Keep it right in front of you. Now have a separate dedicated monitor where your streaming software will run and you can monitor the chat. You can see what other events, polls, and whatever you have set up is going on. So in that way, you keep the focus in the correct place. So I want to know how your setup currently is when you are streaming to Twitch. So my setup is this one. Yes, I'm not a pro level Twitch streamer, but what I did, I have my Twitch to understand how I should play with Twitch. So when I'm having the main game on my main screen, I also have a second screen that is dedicated to my streaming software. So it can be OBS, it can be Streamlabs, all going through OneStream Live, because I also want to multicast it into multiple destination. So I think I have already talked about this, that OneStream Live can stream to 40 over destinations, not only Twitch. So you bring in more and more viewers in your stream. So after we finish all this part, especially the monitoring and right. So you can also set up the priorities, especially the LAN ports, that which stream, not only LAN ports, you can even do it for Wi-Fi or device-based, MAC address-based, that this device will have the higher priority of bandwidth. Yes, you can do that as well. Thank you, Olivera. Thanks, man. Yeah, I forgot that point. And don't forget to have a good pair of over-the-ear headphones. means something like this. Let me just show this. Okay, it's still charging, but let me show this. So this is a low latency uh, Logitech G435. So it goes like this. And this type of headphones will help you to monitor the sound that is going through your channel to the audience. So you will know whether your gaming sound is higher or your voice sound is higher. So now after this, we are going to talk about few other elements. And first, I will start with this one, microphone. So microphone is one of the crucial elements that make your stream great looking. It's not about only the looks, it's about your voice. So you can provide the best voice possible for your stream. And here is my recommendation. So I don't want to complicate things. So if you want to go stream quickly and easily without thinking about a lot of mixing and all those stuff, what you can do, you can get either Wave 3, this is Wave 3, and you can get Shure MV7 or HyperX. They are all great microphones. The reason I like uh, Wave 3 because it comes with a software that allows me to mix between channels. So game sound how much and my voice sound how much. That is ridiculously easy to use. Means without any hardware, without anything, virtually I can control that which volume and mix, how is it going out in my stream. So there is USB microphones. Less of headache, you just plug it in on your PC and you start using it. Now, if you really want a high quality voice, you will need to go to the XLR microphones. So XLR microphone, there are few signature ones. Of course, if you are a podcaster, you will know the name Shure SM7B, which is a pretty expensive microphone, but it sets the standard. Means it is crispy, clean audio. It's fantastic. Is XLR mics. It's been around more than 30 years. And of course, here I talked about few others, but these are like base to mid level. So at pro level, Shure SM7B is an iconic microphone by itself. Now, XLR, we can talk about PreSonus PD70. Yes, of course, whenever you're using an XLR with your PC, you need a mixer. So I'm going to talk about it on the next slide. Before going there, let me talk about 2 or 3 more microphones. So another no-brainer is basically Audio Technica 80-20-20. Extremely popular, works very well, very simple to use, and it does the job. It does the job very well. In the price point versus the features, I mean the sound quality is really, really good. And of course, you cannot go wrong with Shure SM7X. So the 7X is the variation of the MV7 which have the XLR output. So in Asia, some of the MV7 they come with dual output, means they have XLR and they also have USB. But some of them have X version, means it's only XLR. You need a mixer to get it out, get it into your stream. And let me go to the next one. We are going to talk about camera and lights. I'm not going to go deep because you can spend significant amount of money for all these things. But if you want to stream nicely your game and yourself on the Twitch, you can actually use these cameras to start with. So Logitech C920, widely available and widely popular camera, webcam. And then you have Logitech Brio, a bit on the high side, the price, but extremely good capable webcam. Now, Insta360 Link actually created a complete variation of in between webcam and mirrorless. So it has intelligence, AI driven focusing, means if you are moving around, the camera frame will automatically move. So these are some of the unique but commonly used webcam. Even though I'm saying webcam, but in Insta360 link is actually further away, further higher than the webcam stage. Now, if you go for mirrorless, there is no-brainer cameras are Sony. So Sony A6000 above, it can be 6000, 6400, 6500, and whatever not. Great. Great for stream, great for gaming, etc. And Sony ZV-E10, which I'm using this camera right now, is the camera designed for streaming. So I love this camera. It works. Every time I turn it on, it will work. There was not a single time that it didn't work. So I really respect this camera. I respect the 6000 series. And that is why I always recommend that go with Sony, less amount of headache, and you will get your things done. I mean, the camera quality versus the output and the audio and everything else. So there is two way to use the Sony. First, I personally use a mixer for the video. Means I can do this. Now let's check this out. What happens? Do you see my picture? So I actually have a in-still picture that I can use to take a timeout. Or I can use any other photo. I can use the gaming group logo that I want to show. So there are multiple approaches. I'm going to show that in the next slide before we go deeper into Twitch. And so number 3, lights. So as you can see, my lighting, I have a big light over here and big light over here. Not this one is side light, not that big, but it does the job. Great job. So what is these lights? So this light is Godox ES45 LED, specially designed for gamers and streamers. So it might look a little bit harsh, but that's the whole point of streaming on Twitch, because you want that attention of the sharpness. So beside that, another very popular one is Elgato key lights. Now, since Godox came to the market, they are kind of pushing Elgato down because Godox comes with a remote control and the light quality is great. It comes with a table clamp. So you can start with very minimal amount of time. But I know Elgato key lights also come with that, but then the price difference is so much. So this is where Godox picked up the popularity. Let me show you that you can actually. Hey, thank you, Tolway, for joining. So this is the remote control, which actually comes with multiple features. You can see it comes with a LED system, and I can actually fine tune it from here. I can reduce the light or I can increase the light, however it is. So it's remote, and it charges, the remote charges on the back of the light. It's fantastic, no brainer. So you can just use this, put one in front of you as a key light and one at the side to lighten up your side. So it's actually that simple. So this is why I recommend that go with Godox ES45. Even though it's a bit harsh looking light, you can put a foil on top of it to make it smoother. It's just a hack. But for your stream, you need the sharpness, especially on Twitch. Now we go to the other part. So mixer. So there are so many mixture in either on video or audio. So a very popular one is Atom Mini. So basically I can do this. Let me just bring back myself in the screen. And okay, now I'm in the screen. I'm in the full screen. Now let's take a look. I press a switch and it becomes like this. So this is such a simple to use, full of buttons, and Yes, it does the job. It can do actually manage four cameras, four different cameras at the same time, and you can have graphic like your logo or whatever your gaming logo. You can use that for your stream. So it's a fantastic mini utility that also completely modifies your audio sources, but the audio sources are 3.5 mm, means it will either have to come through the HDMI or you can directly connect your lavalier or any other microphone that uses the 3.5 mm port. But if you go from Atom Mini to Atom Mini Pro, they have multiple different options. Now, Elgato Cam Link also for video mix, and this is the simplest of them all. I think I have shown this before. Uh, this Elgato Cam Link. Let me bring back the screen so you can see. Here we go. So this is Elgato Cam Link. Just one dongle, and your camera source goes to the HDMI in, and you plug it in the USB, and that's it. Is that simple? So okay, let me get back to normal. Right. Okay. Then now we talk about the audio mixers. So this one, when you are using XLR microphone, you need a system. So Stream Deck, good question. Stream Deck is actually a controller. It's not a mixture. So it will help you execute actions, execute hotkeys, execute functions, but it will not help you to modify the audio or modify the video. It is an enabler, kind of like function device. So when you are on the stream and you programmed that these four keys do these such things, let's say one key can play a sound. So that is not a mixture, but rather it's a functional macro device. So what do I mean by that? It's basically if you press Ctrl F1 and something happens, they just provide you a physical key for it, and you can program that key in multiple different way. Means multi-layer, you can build folders underneath and go unlimited. So I use this because this one comes with a lot of other functions. It can route audio, like if I'm playing a clapping sound, it can route or set the volume to 30% and send it out to the stream. So all these things Stream Deck can do. Now let's talk about number three. Number three, I was talking about the XLR microphones. So now when you have XLR microphones, you need to have a way to bring them to your stream. So generally, Motu M2 is so popular. It's simple, dual input XLR microphone mixer that converts the audio into USB. Then it goes to your PC. Then you can mix it and your stream goes out. So you can do some fine tuning. You can see the levels. That is why Moto M2 is very, very popular. Now, another popular one is Behringer Euphoria UMC22. That is like ridiculously cheap and it does the job pretty well. I mean, when I tested with XLR microphones and UMC22 USB, it was pretty simple to set up because there's not much things. You just plug it in, there is 2 3 tuning buttons, and your monitoring system means you can actually live monitor the audio from the UMC before going into the PC. But I prefer to monitor the audio that is going out to the stream. Right. Yeah, you are right, Tolboy. Yeah, it's a controller basically to use pre-programmed functions. So that is the base you can start with these tools rather than spending thousands of dollars into big mixers. It will take you a very long time to learn, to adapt, to get a hang of. So these are the tools that lets you to go to do your Twitch gaming streaming without thinking about so many things, so many variables. You can just go ahead and start your stream. So that's the whole point of showing these items. Now, the preparation stage. Always check what is the audio level for your microphone And also your game means if your game is too loud and people cannot hear you, then it will not be fun. So you will lose viewership because your game is too loud, your voice is not loud enough. Even because one is set to 100 and your voice may be set to 70%. So do this mixing, do this testing of the mixing beforehand. And of course, uh, use a monitoring headphone or any other over the ear headphone that lets you fully get what the acoustics coming out from the audio. Prepare the overlays. So overlays are very important. Overlays gives the visuals that, okay, so let's say this is Rabin's gaming stream. So the art, the boxes, the overall look and feel will present, will give you a brand vibe for your gaming space. So this one, you can find thousands of them. There is so many software to do this. You can start with Canva, you can do with placeit.net. They will allow you to create all these stunning overlays for nothing. You can do it for free. Especially on Canva, you can do it for free. Now, once all of this is ready, you need to understand which one you are going to stream with. So the official product from Twitch, I designed my own overlays. So in that way, I can be unique. So usually I use Adobe Photoshop or Affinity Photos to design my overlays, because overlays are transparent PNG graphics. So you can collect the elements from free elements from multiple different places, and then you combine them into Adobe or Affinity Photos. So I will show some example, like if you are talking about overlay. So overlay gives a, uh, let me check, where is this? Okay, it's not here. Sorry, I didn't prepare the overlays for it, but I think you have seen in my previous streams that there is logo here, there is logo there, and there is some other graphic on the screen, but the central place is transparent, and I have a chat area and pre-designed location. I think Tallboy already did. Placeit and Canva is not technical. Is for the kids. Anybody can do that. Is not technical at all. That was the whole point of. Uh, sorry, I clicked wrong. So let me go back to the previous part. So yes, let me go. Right, I clicked back. Okay, all right, we are back. So the software. Actually, I have the beginning graphic as well. The same video. Yeah, and yeah, I did it in Adobe Premiere. So the which software you're going to pick? So here is the thought. There is actually 2 or 3 ways to go about it. First, you pick either OBS, Streamlabs, or official Twitch Studio. Of course, if you are only streaming to Twitch, you should use Twitch Studio. But if you are going to multi-stream into multiple destination, your game or whatever educational content you are doing, you can use OBS or Streamlabs. And then you multicast through OneStream, because OneStream will give you pick your stream and distribute it onto 40 different destination. And yeah, we will talk about that one. And then it comes to interactivity. Because Twitch is full of add-ons, you can add multiple different features like somebody is paying you some money, then their comments is visible. People are doing it using OBS, people are doing it using Twitch Studio and Streamlabs. So Streamlabs also offers a lot of widgets like payment widgets, like polls, and multiple different items. I'm going to show few of them that you will be surprised how many type of add-ons available for Twitch platform. And again, I want to emphasize this. Actually, if you're going to stream on Twitch, you still need a powerful PC because your game will be running on one screen and your OBS or Streamlabs will be running on the other. So they both will take the CPU and the RAM equally. Most probably the game will take the maximum amount of RAM and the CPU. And the second one will be the OBS or Streamlabs. They will take a sufficient amount of resources. So this is why I always recommend i7. Go with i7 32 GB RAM, DDR4, 32 GB gaming RAM, NVMe drives, and all those. So again, I am emphasizing on the second screen because your first screen, your game will be full screen and you will be focused on playing it while your other software is on the second screen, which is streaming this first screen through the internet and going through all the destinations. So this is why I prefer two screens rather than one single wide screen, because you will have problem with some games that you cannot actually make them take 1/3 of the screen or 2/3 of the screen. So this happens, but the newer monitors, the newer ultra wide monitors, they have the option to split. Means even the game is full screen, you can split them. So that's another alternative solution. Also, the ultra wide monitors cost a bit more on the high side. I would prefer a 120 hertz screen refresh rate for agile movement of the game, but it comes to a very expensive manner. So I think it starts from $999 and above. So yes, you can go there, but I'm talking about what you can start with. I'm sure you can get at least two good monitors with good refresh rates for $999. Of course, this is a given. Means whenever you are streaming, you need to promote it to all your social media, all your Twitter, Facebook, etc., 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 and always create an event page and send it out, because these will notify the people on the Facebook friends group or Facebook groups, and that will give them the option to come to your stream, even though you are streaming on YouTube, even though you are streaming on Twitch. So put the Twitch live link in the event page so they can be there when the stream starts. So what the social media will help, they will send out the notification to these people, like your friends, like your group members. So in that way, they get to know about it, because everyone is busy. So they didn't get to know about it at the right time. So when the notification sends out, then they come to the stream if they have the time, like you guys have joined. So this is also another approach of how to promote your stream. Now, in gaming space, collaborate with other creators uh, is a must. Means one gamer streaming with another gamer or become a guest of a gamer is a huge thing. Because it brings in both parties audience together, and it becomes a huge explosion from that. And that is why always try to find on your level or on your gaming level or expertise who is the other one who is doing the stream. So Twitch, you can discover a lot of stuff. So I'm going to show that how Twitch have progressed over time and how many things they have done until today, because they have started a while back. The last time I created one account in Twitch was in 2009 or 2010, in their early days. So imagine it's been 12 years, 13 years. Yes, those time it wasn't that popular, but then it picked up and it became a one concentrated platform where all the gamers are. Now, after your promotion, of course, you need to execute what you have planned. So, first, prepare your game because the game you are going to stream, it needs some preparation. Means certain things you don't want to show. Maybe you want to change the name or something else. If it's a demo game, how you're going to plan it or play it, you pre-plan this beforehand, just like a video script. So you use a script to guide yourself how you're going to talk on the stream. So imagine the same thing for a game. Means how you're going to play the game, whether you're going to go left or right. So you pre-plan those things for your game. So that is what I meant by prepare your game for streaming. Now, definitely number two, never miss this. If you're going to go stream at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m., whatever it is, make sure 8:30 p.m. you do a demo stream for 5 minutes and set the video to private or set the video to unlisted if it is YouTube. So in that way, you will get to know that whether all your equipments, sound, lights, camera, microphone, your game, all of them are in place for execution. And that is how you bring in quality rather than quantity. So you do one stream, it will become a quality stream, and people will engage because they think that this is something quality I am seeing. And that will add in value, and they will talk about it with other people. And that is the whole concept behind word of mouth. And that is how you can progress over time rapidly. Now, of course, when you're playing your game, uh, have fun and interact when possible. Means when the game is loading, there is a 15-second delay because the game is loading. Talk with the audience. Talk with the audience. Say hi. Say, so somebody is dare you to do anything. Okay, sure, you're going to do it. So talk with that person. Monitor the comments. Give some feedback if possible. So every game there is a waiting screen. Means when the game is loading, you have 15-30 second time when the game is loading. Let it load. You engage with the viewers. Have a chit chat with them. Yes, video issues is very common, very common. So this is why I always emphasize, don't forget about number two. Number two is very, very important. Dry run every time, even every time you know that your equipment is perfect, please do a dry run 30 minutes before or 20 minutes before. And do not turn off your equipment in between. Please don't do that because there are sometimes problem will come up when you restart the device. So that is very common. Yes, engagement is the key. Obviously, like even I'm playing game or even I'm having a discussion, if I do not engage, then how my viewers will feel important. The very bigger part of this that a lot of people missed out is that the audience is the most expensive, most uh, sought after people that I'm looking for. Means the people who are giving me feedback, teaching me something, and having a discussion. And they want that they are evaluated. Even though I'm doing the stream, I have 5 different things to look at, but I am still giving that attention that Alberto is here, Tallboy is here, and that is the key element of bringing everyone together. So this, don't forget this, means the engagement, prepare for it how you want to engage with people. This is why I prefer the second screen. Sorry about that. This is why I prefer the second screen, that I can monitor, I can see that who is saying what, and then I have my primary screen and my slideshows and every other things in between. So separated it in that way. In that way, it is easier for me to communicate. Now, like how I said in point number 5, keep the keep your streaming software, chat, and everything on the second screen. So while in between your game is loading or saving or whatever it is, you have a look, say hi to your stream people, and they will feel delighted because you are mentioning their name. Sometimes they ask you something, you give them the answer. So that is all it requires. And do you think it's expensive? It's not. It's just a mentality of how we want to bring up viewership by engaging with our friends, or maybe not our friends, those who are from a distance. But I am not judging them at any way. Rather, I am talking with them just like any other person I would talk in my real life. People always prefer real people. They don't like all these made up people and fake things, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we will know who is real and who is not. So, this is why engagement is very, very important. This is why I keep it on the second screen. And so far, I guess this is for me, this is the last one. But now I'm going to show you something inside Twitch. So, if you monitor here, Twitch has progressed so far ahead, and they have the entire system. So imagine you can have this tab on your second screen, and you can have your goals. You can request a guest star. You can send a message. You can assign moderators, because when you have friends or moderators, they can manage the entire chat. Not only this, you have achievements. Then you have engagement system, means you can set what kind of engagement is happening. You can see the statistics and analytics. It gives you great insight. Then you have collections, clips, like you want to show a specific time of the game, what happened. It happened only once when you are playing it 7 days before, but you captured it, you kept the video, and you uploaded in this clip library. That's it. You can show them off that this is what I did. This is what I did. This is how it happened. So all these things, now I'm going to show that how many things they actually support. They have quiz system, they have streaming stickers, they have schedules and countdowns, they have loyalty and recognition. Imagine this, means your channel will have recognition and loyalty for the repeated viewers. Means my friend Alberto, if he comes over on my stream second time, he will get something, an appreciation token, and then he will feel even more valuable than the rest of the streamers, because they are in the first time, but Alberto came second time. So, so all these things give tremendous value to your stream, and you can add even a lot more things. This is nothing. I can tell you that you can add viewer engagement system, you can add polling and voting, and if I go inside one of them, I'm just going to show you one element of it, right? Because it's not possible. We don't have enough time to cover each individual or all of those categories. But I'm going to show streamer tools. So just look at the number of things that they have added. Just take a look. They have overlay expert, they have voicebot, they have bandbot, they have word sensor system, automatic banning with timer, and everything else. You can bring it in your Instagram feed. You can do every other thing, and you can develop your own extension as well. So this is look at this. I can scroll, and it still doesn't finish. So there is a lot more into Twitch that we actually know of. So now I go back and try to find loyalty and recognition system extensions. And look at this. You have leaderboard, you have uptime and watch time, you have Discord widget, means all your Discord community you can bring them over here. You can have featured viewer, Liquid Plus, and get donations, dare drop. You can have all these game elements that you have played before in game now as extensions. So it's a pseudo image of those features inside a game now inside your stream. Imagine the amount of engagement you can have. Yes, you need to play Duck Hunt on with Twitch. I will join. Uh, so beside this, you also have they provide a lot of other stuff, means educational things for the streamers who stream on Twitch. Let me just show you uh, some of the elements that they provide. Auto mod system. This mod is like a bot and it will automatically moderate your channel. You can have blocked and permitted terms and phrases, means if there is certain terms come up, you can block or terminate those chat just like that. And you can have block hyperlinks, means somebody posting a link on your chat stream, you can block it. And you can have email and phone verification. You can set up chat rules, chat modes. So only the followers of your channel can chat. See how great is that? No, I play games for old people, I guess. So I play Age of Empires um, 2 and 4, and I play Euro Truck. Most of the time, I don't find enough time, but yes, I play on Steam. I have been on Steam for last 15 years, I guess, 14, 15 years. And yeah, so for me, the most thing is to have the time to play. But I love to play, and I would prefer PC-based games rather than console. Yeah, I am a very big fan of StarCraft, very big fan of Warcraft. I have played it for many years. I played Dota, Dota 2, and early ages of Dota uh, during 2001, 2002, 2003. Those time I used to spend a lot of time in the cyber cafe. So we will go 10 of our friends and we'll spend the entire night in the cyber cafe playing Dota. So yes, those are the days I really enjoyed those days. Didn't have to think about how to do certain things, less responsibilities, and play more games and have fun. So those were the days. And I think I already passed the 50-minute marker. So let me just one more time just recap for for the stream. So for any Twitch streaming, the first requirement that is required is your hardware, your computer, whether it is Mac or PC. Of course, I personally prefer PC for any kind of gaming. And I would recommend personally to go with i7 32GB DDR4 gaming low latency RAM, NVMe drives, minimum 1 terabyte and above. Uh, Personally, I use RTX 3070, but you can pick any RTX 20 series or GTX 1660 above. Of course, I use wired gaming keyboards, mechanical keyboards, and my Ethernet is a gigabit and connected directly to the router. And thank you, Alberto, and remind me of that prioritize the MAC address, which I did. But sometimes we cannot remember because I have done that many years before, and it's been working as it is for now. Of course, I use two monitor setup, even though one of my monitor is ultra wide. It's 34-inch LG in right in front of me and a Dell on the side. And of course, a good pair of headphones. I'm using a headphone connected with my Wave 3, so I can monitor it real time what is going out to the stream. Now, microphone, there's so many choices, but this is Wave 3. You can pick Shure MV7 fantastic sound, podcast quality sound. And for XLR, I would say Shure MV7X or Audio Technica 80-2020. You cannot go wrong with these two. Then camera and lights, go with either Logitech Brio for a very clean, crispy light and image quality, and Insta360 Link, fantastic camera with auto framing, fantastic image quality. If you want to go with mirrorless, go with Sony A6000 or Sony ZV-E10. You can spend a lot more money. You can buy Sony A7 2 or 3 or 4. Those are ridiculously high priced camera, but yes, they give the clarity. But do you need that clarity for your gaming streaming? So I will hide the slides so I can talk about these topics on screen. So for lights, just get Godox ES45 LED, two of them. One, you can use one single remote to control them, or you can use both of them. For one is brighter, one is lighter. Just set it up like that. It's a crispy kind of light, means it's not softening. I have a softening light over here, but for gamers, ES45 is very, very popular, and it is much more cheaper than Elgato key light. Now, for the other stuff like hardware mixture, so for video mixing, if you want to have your finger touch control, you can use Atom Mini. But if you do not prefer that, if you prefer something uh, that is already connected with your camera and already pre-set up, you can use J5 Create, and they have fantastic. That is what I learned from Tallboy actually. That he uses a J5 Create JV06, if I'm not mistaken. That's on top of my head. So fantastic mixture. It can also mix audios as well. Now for Elgato Cam Link, it's the simplest one to bring your camera audio to the PC. So now, why did I include this? Because this is so freaking simple that you can actually put a microphone in your camera, use the mini HDMI cable, and bring it out to Elgato, and you are done. Your microphone audio and your video streaming on your PC using one simple USB dongle. That is why I mentioned it. Now, if you have XLR microphone, go for Motu M2 or Behringer. You cannot go wrong with either of them. But Motu have a little bit of an advantage because they provide two XLR inputs, which is fantastic. Now, for preparations, don't forget to check your audio mixing levels. This will always matter because your audience will get really annoyed if your game sound is too much and your voice sound is too low, or they are similar, so they can't actually make out what you're talking about, because in game there is always dialogues, so this will confuse your audience. And then check with your headphones, especially the monitoring headphones, that how your audio is actually going to the stream. Now create some overlays, create your own brand, whatever your channel name on Twitch, highlight that brand, create a logo for that your gaming channel, then reflect those colors, those elements, and design your own overlay. Right, JVA06, not JV, correct. I'm sorry. And stream through OBS, either OBS, Streamlabs, or Twitch Studio, and send them through OneStream Live to multiple places. So you don't have to worry where it is going. It's going to Twitter, it's going to um, Facebook, it's going to Twitch, and every other places. And make use of Streamlab widgets, because all these software that I mentioned, like OBS, Streamlabs, and Twitch Studio, they come with all these widget features. And of course, Twitch Studio supports more because they have on their platform so many extensions. Again, keep an eye on the second screen, see what is what is people talking about, or what remarks they are giving when you are playing the game. So these are just the preparations. Now, when it comes to promotion, again, is very simple. It is similar to any other promotion for live stream. You promote your live stream to all your social media, create event pages, especially on Facebook, and invite your friends so they will know, because they are busy people. At least the social media will remind them when to join the stream. Don't forget to collaborate with other gamers who are similar scale as yourself or even a higher scale. So bring their audience, bring your audience together and create a bigger win factor from it. Now, at the execution of the plan, definitely prepare your game. See how and where you are going to show and which part of the game you are going to highlight. So prepare that, save the game at that point so you can load it instantly when you are going to the stream. These are simple things, but just pre-preparation can solve a lot of headache when you are going live, because you have to attend to multiple different elements on your screen. Do not ever forget to do the dry run. This will save you again and again. So do the dry run of your setup. Start it 30 minutes before your stream. Do not turn off your camera, microphone, whatever it is. Do not turn off. Because if you do that, you need to retest again when you turn them on. So better to leave them on. And prepare for the engagement, that how you're going to talk with your audience on the other screen or on your side screen, wherever it is. You pre-plan it, that which elements you're going to pick up, means which discussion you want to pick up and which one you let go. Have the fun when you're playing the game, and of course monitor what's happening on the other screen. So I also shown some of the Twitch elements that are available, and that is huge. There is extensive number of features Twitch now provides. So now I get to think, what if I stream generally using Twitch, because Twitch is giving me so many options. Automatic comment moderation. I do game, but those are not like FPS. I used to play FPS long time before, but COD and all those Call of Duty and stuff. But I prefer real time strategy, StarCraft, Warcraft, and their family of games. And lately I'm playing more relaxed, like Age of Empires version 2, version 4. I'm playing Euro Truck Simulator, so I like to drive truck and upgrade my truck and bring things from one European country to another European country and enjoy the scenery. So all these things when I have the time. So that's it for now. I hope this was useful. I really hope this was useful. And I will see you guys on my next show. But in the meantime, I also want to mention, because I'm moving my house, and this stream, I after this stream I have to dismantle my studio for the next house. So I am hoping and keeping my fingers crossed that uh, my studio will be up by next Wednesday. So there is that. And having said all that, thank you everyone who joined the chat. It made a lot of difference, and I really appreciate. And hopefully you will give me a thumbs up if you liked it. If you did not like it, give me a good thumbs down. That will be my lesson. And subscribe to the channel. It helps. Even every single subscription helps. So sometimes it looks like begging, but what else I can do, because I'm a small creator. So all I can do is to ask you a favor to have a subscription. So that's about it for now. And and thank you for the engagement. From Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, it's 11 p.m. right now. So I will say good night to you. All right. Bye bye.